Hi. Hello. I'm new here. Name's Niche. I started streaming, I stopped streaming, and now I've been compelled to make a video over my discourse in modern society, and I'm desperate for validation. Now, the good, the bad, and the moderately okay. Apple. Love 'em, hate 'em, regardless. You know 'em in such a way that you know I'm not talking about the fruit. The rest of what I'm going to talk about is the contrast of innovation and convenience. And we're starting with Apple. Almost a year ago, Apple released their new lineup of phones as they do every year. Among the lineup was a brand new phone, the iPhone Air. Upon launch, in my perception of the internet, there wasn't a lot of hype for it, and the reviews, all at first, said the same thing. The battery life is poor. They're worried about another Bandgate. But it's only got one camera. One camera. And as the months went on, people have forgotten about the iPhone Air. The big buzz was the 17 Pro Max and their flashy new orange color, whatever you want to call it. And fair enough, that orange is a very good color. It's a very fantastic phone. Me, however, the year before, I had purchased an iPhone 16 Pro Max. It didn't live up to my expectations coming from a 13 Pro Max, so I decided to upgrade to something new. Something exciting. Because, it's iPhone. Actually, this applies to all phones these days. They're the same thing, just slightly different every single year. Previously, before my iPhone 16, I went and I bought a Pixel Fold, an Android foldable, because I just wanted some excitement out of a phone. Try to relive the 2000s nostalgic days, where everything's just going crazy and you had the Sidekick or whatever, and you flip the screen out and it has a keyboard on it. Freaking cool, by the way. So anyways, I had interest in the iPhone Air. I took a little jaunt over to my local Apple store. I actually wasn't that interested in the Apple, like the iPhone Air. I was actually there to get an Apple Air tag. Yeah, so I don't lose my keys again. Did you know car keys are expensive? Ridiculous, right? Anyways, while I was there and I was waiting, it was very busy, despite, being a Sunday of all days. While I was waiting, I went over to look at the new iPhones, and I picked up the iPhone Air and handled it. From that moment on, I understood that this was probably the future of phones. Not for everyone, obviously. Every manufacturer now has a greater variety of phones for different people's use cases, which is perfect. I love it. I love the choices. But this actually felt new to me, and it's not something I think people need to feel it in their hands to understand. I think this is why Apple made the phone. Now, before I get into it, of why I think the iPhone Air is good and everything, whatever, that's kind of out of the bag, we're talking about innovation and the contrast of it, and we'll be bringing up experiences of other ways of innovation companies like to do. This, in my opinion, the iPhone Air is a great use of innovation. How it was able to be made in such a form factor and be on paper and hardware specs to be this performant. It is exceptional. This is exactly what I think, that with all the technology and money that we give to the corporations that allow them to engineer something like this is exactly the use case they should put it to. I mean, if the money's already there, they can pay their engineers, yada, 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 and actually provide us a good product. Without us even asking for, I don't think anyone was really, again, in my perception, I don't think anyone was really asking for an iPhone Air. People were asking, sure, maybe to bring back the iPhone mini, but I think generally that's probably not as big demographic as everyone likes to think it would be. Like, oh, I would love an iPhone mini. I'm like, did you buy the iPhone 12 mini? We'll get to the contrast there in a minute. And the convenience part I said earlier. We're talking about convenience of company culture that they think is convenient for customers. Well, maybe not that they think it, but they want to portray it as convenience to the customers. Now, to finish off with the iPhone Air. Recently, probably around 7 months after the original release of the iPhone Air, all these big reviewers of phones have now made their new review of the same phone. They come back to it after a while. And almost every single one says the same thing. Now that they've came back to the iPhone Air and reevaluated it from the first time to now, even if they switched to the 17 Pro Max or whatever phone they got, they've now come to the realization that they don't need the other phones. And a lot of them who were left the Air for its bigger brother, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, have come back to it. They realized that the battery, the biggest complaint about the phone at launch, is fine. It's perfectly adequate. And I've seen this in personal experience that, dude, unless your entire life is just doom scrolling for like 8+ hours a day, like it's a full-time job to doom scroll, you're gonna be fine on your battery. It is a smaller battery. It doesn't last as long as even my 16 Pro Max. That's fine. I don't live on my phone. And you probably shouldn't either. It's great. I mean, also, the smaller battery, also charges pretty fast because it's a smaller battery. It doesn't charge as much. So, like, say, God forbid, you doom scroll just a little bit too long and you're about to leave your house or whatever, just charge it for 15 minutes. And it gets you some extra percentage. It's great. Also, the camera. Oh, I'm missing my 2 other lenses. Whatever shall I do? I did enjoy how powerful the iPhone cameras have been in recent years. I will say, their one lens, or whatever they call the camera on the Air, it looks fantastic. Unless you're filming on an iPhone, like all the things that say shot on iPhone, but they have like a $17,000 like lens on the end of it, you don't need to worry. Trust me, your Snapchats, your Instagrams, your whatever's, it looks great. It looks fantastic. You get over yourself, I guess. I don't know. Dude, how lightweight the phone is. I think we've forgotten how light phones can be ever since they started becoming more premium. They have, they're becoming like metal and getting fat. Everyone wants a fat battery and it's gonna have all the performance. Apple managed to do performance and have a metal frame and a nice feeling premium phone, keeping it this thin, making it cheaper than the Pro Max, while maintaining almost the same screen size, which I think is the perfect screen size, more or less. A little tall. I got some baby hands, It was very interesting to me to see how fast people in general, not just with like Apple and the iPhones, but people in general will see something new come out, and because it's not exactly the same as what they're used to, and they follow maybe one person who they trust in their advice, collectively, society or internet culture just like, just automatically goes, we don't like this. I implore people to try new things, because I didn't think I would like this phone that much. TLDR, Apple did something good. Maybe it doesn't fault them for all the not things we like about them. Actually, I'm still faulting for a lot of things. All right. But I think it is a step in the right direction that we as the consumers should encourage, so they follow the trail of money. Everyone likes money. Everyone. and continues on that path. And recently, we also seen them release the MacBook Neo. It has a student discount. It's really affordable, great battery life. It's reusing of chips from one of the older iPhones. So, and it's very premium feeling, like the chassis and everything. And the reusing of chips, it's probably at least a little bit better for the environment. They're using chips they probably already had lying around, at least to an extent. Awesome. Love to see it. Now, we're getting to the contrast of innovation and convenience. I am a customer of T-Mobile. And, I had not very good experiences with them lately. So after I experienced in person the feel of the iPhone Air, and that is what got me. I was hooked from then on. I was like, I am a casual user. Why would I not want a phone that's smaller, feels better in my pocket, it's lighter, it doesn't weigh down your pants. I wanted it. So me, as a customer of T-Mobile, I went to go order it and try to get some promo deals going on, as they all do. And they're very adamant about using their app. Yes, their app. Convenience, right? It's convenient. You just click, put it in your cart, it ships to your house, right? That's awesome. Except it's not. It's like they just like, hey, make this app, scratch that app, make a completely new app. This is what they did, by the way. If you're not a T-Mobile customer, they had an app that you could use to check your balance or whatever, shop for phones. Got rid of that one, made a new one. The new one just like looks newer, and that's about it. It performs like 1,000 times worse, and you pretty much just like have to use it. I went to put in my order, and it has like a cart system, like Amazon or whatever, like everyone else, except it doesn't work. You put in the phone, you put in like, I gotta trade in this phone or whatever, all that jazz, and then I wanted to add some like AirPods too. I was like, I need some new AirPods. Yeah, call me bougie or whatever. I don't actually have any money. I wanted some AirPods. And I was like, I tried to back out to go add AirPods to the same order. Wouldn't let me add it to the order. And then in the app where you're supposed to buy things to give the corporation your money, I couldn't get back to my cart. There's just no way to do it. You can't. It was, and then like, okay, well maybe the cart just disappeared or whatever. No, I went to go add the phone again. Yeah, it's like add the phone in the cart. It says nope, you can't throw it in there. Your cart is already full. Like you have a phone in there. I'm like, awesome, great. Take that phone out and put this one in then. Like just replace it because it has a little dialogue box that says that. Okay, yeah. Oh, put it in. It says no, we can't do it. It just like loops in the like 2 different dialogue boxes infinitely, and there's nothing you could do about it. And I was like, okay, well that's pretty lame. I go over on my desktop computer because I guess our phones are not convenient enough. I need all the convenience maxing. So I go on my desktop computer to the desktop website of T-Mobile, and I can see my cart there. I can add to the cart. Again, wouldn't let me add the AirPods. Maybe that's a reason on my end for some, maybe they just don't want to approve me to do that in the same order or whatever. I don't know. They didn't tell me. I got the cart. I got a cart going, and then I couldn't buy it. I could not purchase it. It wouldn't. I had money, everything wouldn't go through. Tried to empty the cart, do it again, and then my cart completely. I would been banished from the cart. They took it away from me. The website said, yeah, can't access cart anymore. It is gone. And I was like, oh, okay. We're going to have to do this the old school way because I'm not giving up. I was a pretty good promotion on a trade-in deal here I got going. I go to a physical location store. I don't know about the other carriers of mobile devices, but these guys, they have iPads that the employees use for everything and whatever to do all your ordering and all your concerns or whatever. They also try to do it. Well, first, they tell you, hey, just use your app on your phone. I told them, I can't do that. It doesn't work. I also did the website. Doesn't work. They're like, okay, we'll see if we can do it on our end. It gave them an error on their end too. Like, they could get further in the process than I could on my own, but going to check out, it says, nope, can't do it. And they were like, it's probably because, the promos doesn't work like that or whatever. They tried telling me some BS, but me being a little special, I like to read terms and conditions a little bit. So yeah, they were like, no, we it's not letting us do it. Like, even the employees were like, if it was up to us, we'd probably do it. But like, their side doesn't let them do it. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I'd love it, bro. I love it. I end up having to call them. This is last resort. You call corporate like a Karen. I call corporate like a Karen. I tell them, hey, why doesn't any of your shit fucking work? Please. And let's just say an hour on the phone with them. They're telling me like, no, that's the promo works like this. We can't put it through. They like, I start going up the line list. Like, they transferred me higher and higher into different divisions and management or whatever. And they eventually, I guess, caved or whatever. They're like, oh, the promo doesn't work like this. So I'm like, I pull up their own terms and conditions and says, this is what your terms and conditions for this promotion say. Give me my phone. And they're like, oh, it does say that. Okay. They were able to put it through to me. But like, they have to ship it to me. I couldn't go pick it up in a store anywhere. That's like their rules. I'm like, oh, if you're doing it this way, you have to, we gotta ship it to you. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was like, can I put on the AirPods? And they just straight up told me, you can just go into one of our stores to grab some. Like, they weren't even gonna add it to my order. Like, I was like, I'll pay for it. Just put them on the cart when you're shipping the phone. No, they wouldn't do it. Oh, well. Fast forward, phone arrives. Great, awesome, it works. Now, I was a trade-in. They gave you the box, and they're like a little shipping label already, and they're like, all right, you can ship your old phone into us, which is fine. I can go ship it. It's paid shipping label. No big deal. But I was like, why deal with that when I could just take it to the physical store and just give it to them? Like, here, wouldn't, like, they have stores everywhere. Wouldn't that be convenient for both, me and them? They won't take it. I brought it in there and they straight up said, no, you have to ship it in. Like, we can't take it. I'm like, why not? Corporate, blah, blah, blah. Stupid policies, yab, yab, yab. Dumb. And on top of that, I'm a person who actually enjoys going to a physical location and having like a cashier and people to talk to and having physical inventory. I don't have to wait for shipping or have something get damaged in shipping or whatever. It just takes a link out of it. I like to go there, make my purchase, grab my thing, and leave. And one of the employees told me there that starting soon, T-Mobile Corporate is taking away their iPads. Like the employees' iPads that they can do like transactions with and stuff and like order stuff. They're going to take them away and they will no longer just like be able to do that in location. That's got to be the most shitty form of convenience to save T-Mobile a couple of bucks, I'm sure, because they're going to probably just purge 90% of the staff in these stores. They're like, we don't need you anymore. Gone, bye. And now people like me who likes to go in and do shit, now they have no iPads to do that with. And you know what they're going to say? They're like, oh, it's just more convenient if you order the stuff you want on the app on the phone you have. All right, well, what if you're going to the phone store to buy a new phone because your phone's broken? How are you supposed to do that then? Because originally you could just go in there and they're like, you'd be like, oh, my phone's broken, I can't order on the phone. And they're like, all right, well, we have our, company provided iPads. We can just do it on your account, do this and do that, whatever. Now they're not going to have that. you're gonna go to the phone store and they're like, hey, use your phone to order a new phone or to do anything. Actually, you want to change your plan, you want to cancel your subscription. They're gonna tell you to either call them or use your phone. Like, what's the point of the store anymore at that point? And I've already ranted on about how the app just doesn't fucking work. I was like, I could probably have fucking ChatGPT code the app and it would work better. I could vibe code the fucking app to work better. It's fucking shit. And that's the path that I have noticed. I've seen across the verse of big corpos. They're like, they talk about how convenient something is and to use their app, but really they want to farm your information and save a couple bucks, hire less employees. It's very frustrating. Also, just a side tangent, that carrier also has their satellite service in collaboration with the SpaceX and SpaceX? No, Starlink. Oh my god. In collaboration with Starlink. It doesn't work on my phone. It hasn't worked since my past two phones, which is surprising because I was in their beta program before they fully launched it on my iPhone 13 that doesn't even have Apple's built-in SOS satellite, and it worked flawlessly in the beta. Like, without it just worked flawless. It was actually really, really cool. Yeah, when they fully came out and I pay the premium bucks for the premium package for the premium satellite stuff, it doesn't work. And yes, I have been on IT support with T-Mobile and Apple like 3 times now, and they all don't have a single, no hate to them. I honestly, actually, a shout out one time, half shout out one time, their customer service people on the phone ends, you know, that aren't, yeah, they're pretty cool. They're decent. I enjoyed them specifically. Not the culture of the company, but the people, man. You gotta put out for the people who are just trying to earn a living. Anyways, they had not a clue as to why it doesn't work. And to this day, as I'm recording this, it still doesn't work. TLDR, I am tired of the inchitification of literally everything, because everything has to be digital and on your phone and on the internet, because it's like the future convenience super tech thing, when in reality it's not as far advanced as they want it to be. It's not like I can teleport bread to my house from walmart.com. We're not there. We're barely getting the internet infrastructure where people are starting to get fiber optic internet. So we're finally at the point where we can make video calls and actually understand what the other person is saying. And they want us to just put our entire lives on like our phone is actually an absurd thought to me. I just want to go to a store that I can browse. I can just, if I want a consumer max, bro, and just like, I need to spend money right now. That's like, why wouldn't they want me to do that? To like in their store. Like, I'm not going to impulse buy something online because then I have to wait for it. And that just like takes the buzz away from my consumer maxing. Let me go into the store and I want this. I'm going to buy it because I can take it home right now. And then I go to the cash self-checkout or cash register and they're like, oh, we don't have tap to pay. Walmart. Tap to pay is not new. Just get it.